They have Fenty Beauty in Boots. I don't know if that's like news to everyone, but I didn't expect it. Maybe because it was Central London.
I don't get it. You're promoting Fenty. You have to pay us.
Sorry.
I don't get it. Like Fenty's just there. Like there's people going to do the free advertisement. They know it. People like you.
I didn't even wear it.
That was just free advertisement.
Sorry,
for no
cut
reason.
it. Cut it. That's why this is not live.
If it was live, we would just promote Rihanna for no reason.
She's a nice person. She's really pretty.
Yeah, she is. That's not the point.
What's happening today?
I'm tired.
Oh, you know what? I literally, when you went there, I just said that. I was meant to sleep today. I'm knackered, mate.
I'm tired, but you know what? The grind don't stop. Never have to drop. If you get blocked,
Oh,
you
you're
know
in a good
why.
mood today.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Well, I wanted to start now. Did you see the thing I sent in the group chat? The topic and the quote of the day. I'm gonna be doing the quote of the day because I'm doing more reading these days. And I'm not coming up. But I'm seeing a lot of these like sick quotes that I'm just like, you know what? People need to hear them. But what's it called? Yeah. First of all, before we start with the topic, let me do some explaining because the episode that has just came out before this, I was liking it. By the time you see the next episode, you're gonna see a lot of changes. And obviously, they've seen no changes in this episode.
That's not off.
I know. I'm just gonna explain to them the logistics. So we dropped the first episode, Mummy Thinks You're Lazy, and then we filmed one after that. But then when we compared qualities and stuff, it was like it dropped, and I was just like, nah, we're not willing for it to drop. Do you get me? So we had to, when we dropped, what is this one? Who You Angry At? Like that was supposed to be the third episode back, but it became the second episode back, episode 19. It was supposed to be episode 20, but it became episode 19.
So this is episode 20.
So this is episode 20, and then the next one you see, Trim Daya. You get me? You know what we say.
Don't do promise and fail.
No. This time I'm promising. There's gonna be a trim. There's gonna be different special guests, locations, intro.
Show me the location. Sorry.
Even David promoted him as well. The last one you said that you like David. This one you're even promoting him. Who else do you want to promote? Promote. No. Go and promote.
Oh gosh, I don't know what's happening. Just let me be free. Let me be free.
And your freedom just includes promoting people.
It's not a promotion.
No,
it's
good,
just.
that's right. So you're expressing yourself.
So when we would.
I
can't even get into it, man. That's long. It's fine. I'll stop.
But when it's me that wants to rap, there's a problem with me rapping.
I didn't say there was a problem with you rapping. You just don't let it go on for that. We've only got a set amount of time. Don't let it just be, surpassing.
Anyway, what I was saying, one of the things, I was just like, how is it? How was it for you, or what things did you gain growing up in an African household? Because
can I just say, just off the bat, that growing up in an African house, I don't know why I'm doing this. We'll start again.
We don't have to start again.
If we do,
you can just cut this bit out.
Okay.
But I'm gonna leave it in.
No, don't leave it in. Don't leave it in, please.
Okay.
So, do you want to ask a question again?
No, it's just like you were saying.
Oh, so I think the whole time growing up in an African household, I think firstly nobody realised they were growing up in an African household. I think everybody just thought...
So when did you realise that your household was African compared to your...
Not even African. I didn't realise that it was like I guess what you would call it is an African household, because it was an African household. But I think I didn't realise that other people were also living the same type of life that I was living. Probably... For
example, other people would open ice cream containers and there would be stew.
Yeah. I just thought that was something that my mum had created specifically for my own torture. No, I think I didn't recognise it or realise it was a whole, something that was happening amongst a whole generation until probably about secondary school, maybe year 9, year 10, that you start comparing, like you'd say something, or rather someone would say something, you'd be like, oh, like that happens in my house. But it wasn't like a whole, I guess social media wasn't like a thing back, like, oh gosh, I don't like saying stuff like that because it makes me seem very, very old. But it wasn't as, we had like Bebo and Facebook, but like the way Instagram is now, that, every time somebody, people always post, everybody was living my life. But I didn't realise until about year 9. What about you? Because
do you know when I realised? When I went to when I was in primary school, and
for goodness sake, will you not let this thing go?
Mummy packed me wachi.
It wasn't right. It was rice and stew.
Rice and stew for packed lunch. And
in the flask.
And they made me sit on my own.
You know what upset me about that situation? That they got me involved. They called me from my class.
And you saw me sitting on my own. And I was even facing the wall.
Serious.
And I was getting genuine.
So, just as a little backstory. So, basically, obviously, when you're in primary school, you go on school trips. And when you go on school trips, you're supposed to take a packed lunch with you. So, if your parents don't make you your own packed lunch, the school obviously provides a packed lunch. One day, we should do like a British school type thing. That would be quite cool, actually. But anyway, so our mum, like, made us.
But it wasn't a trip, though.
No,
it was a trip, but we came back to eat.
Yeah. So usually, when you go for the day, you eat then and you come back. But for some reason, they came back early, so they had to eat there.
Yeah.
So everybody, obviously, they came back to their classroom and everybody's eating at the class. And then I was a year above you, innit? Or two academic years above. So they called me from my class. I'm gonna say you were in about year 3, year 4. I want to say year 4 because I remember where the classroom was. So I would have been in year 6. And they called me from the class, and I walked into the class, and everybody's sitting at their table, and here is this guy sitting on a stool or on a chair. Your food wasn't on a table; it was on, because the flask was quite tall, and it was on the floor, and you were sitting there with your plastic spoon or whatever, eating your rice and stew, and they were just like, "It's not."
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they were like, it's not that, it's not something we didn't want to segregate him, but the food was a bit oily. this is where some palm. No, it wasn't palm oil.
It wasn't palm oil.
The food was a bit oily, and some of it had gotten into like the bag, so we had to just separate so it wouldn't get onto the tables and stuff. But we think it's. I remember specifically that we think it's really good. It smells really great, and we think it's great that your mum has packed this traditional food, but we just had to sit. And there he was, just sitting there, just happily eating. Absolutely.
Boxing that
big
Shaki.
African man, yeah, just
boxing that Shaki like crazy.
I was mortified.
Yeah, Jay was embarrassed.
I was mortified.
Jay was just like, what is going on?
I
if mum had
couldn't
packed me
believe
for 4, I would have even been happier. You get me?
Like, actually, it's just like, it was nothing to you.
Yeah.
Me, that
so,
was constantly trying
that's
to
when I realised I was in the African household and I loved it. But the reason it came to me is because social media, it's always bants. It's always like, why is our parents doing this? A fob or this. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, we kind of gained a lot of positive stuff.
100%.
That we kind of don't like.
Frugality.
We don't shed light on it. So I was just like, and even from this podcast, like I said last week, we do bants, you get me, we joke, but we're also here to inspire, encourage, like educate. And I feel like, especially through whatever you want to do in life, whatever you've been through, it's almost the tools to help you do it.
100%,
you get me?
Yeah.
So I was just like, one thing that I got that when I grew up, I realized it was so positive from coming from an African household. It's just that they don't let you get excuses. Do you get me? You can't give an excuse for stuff. And I'll give this example. I'm sorry, I hate you.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay. The way you
no,
look
don't make me look like a tyrant.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I was.
For example, I remember being in school and then what's it called? Them telling me I was dyslexic, innit? And mummy had to come in for like a meeting and stuff. And I remember she sat quietly in a meeting. She was like, okay.
I think there's nothing worse than the African parents sitting quietly through a meeting.
And then we walked out, and it sounds so bad because when they told me, I was gassed, because when they told me, they immediately said, so you'll get so many free stuff. And I was just like, yes. And I was just like, I almost saw it like I have an excuse of when I didn't do well, and I'm also going to get free stuff. Yeah, 100%. They was like, you're dyslexic. I was like, I know. Yep. 100%. Yeah,
that must be it. Yeah,
like,
that makes
true.
Total sense.
So it's like, things have been so hard for me. But then we walked out, and mummy was just like, you're not. I was like, what? She was like, no.
I love her for that.
Yeah, she was just like, no.
I reject it. I don't accept it.
Yeah. She was like, in Jesus' name, I bang it.
Yeah.
Do you get me? You're going to do well. This. You're not using that as an excuse. And I was just like, obviously, I'm not saying that people who are dyslexic can't do well. I did well. I've done well. Do you get me and stuff? But I was ready to just hold on to that excuse.
Yeah.
Do you get me? I was ready to just
that's problematic. I think you have to be very careful about how you sort of. I will use the word diagnose people with certain things, or say that people have got certain. Weaknesses, if you will. I don't say it's a weakness, because I think dyslexia comes in different ways, and obviously the school system and the education system is set up in a certain way that it doesn't always cater to people. So sometimes I don't think that it's a weakness, but it's just that it doesn't agree with how they've set things up.
Mummy was she was.
But what people can end up doing is they'll just decide that, you know, through my whole life this will just be.
Yeah. Because I remember one time I even went to work and
you didn't do your hair. Oh, it's because of my.
Yeah. No, I remember one time I went to work and I spelled something wrong in it. The manager was just like, "Alright, you spelled that wrong." I was just like, he was just like, "Why do you spell that wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm dyslexic." He pulled me to a corner. He was like, "Don't you ever let me hear you say that again. I'm dyslexic and that's not an excuse." I was like, "Hey." I was just like, I didn't know it was this kind of workplace.
I've met my equal.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know it was this kind of workplace. Because normally when I go to workplaces, I just kind of...
So what did he want you to say, just out of curiosity?
He was just like, try.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It was like, the way they kind of threw it to me in secondary, in primary school, like, they threw it to me in a way that it was just like, I don't have to try. Like, do you get me? This is how it's going to be. And it's like, I just get to ride off it. Do you get me? That's what I'm trying to say. The African household kind of thing was proper like, no. Like, do you get me? That whole rejecting Jesus' name, that basically meant try.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy. Don't fall back on anything. You're going to do it. So that was one of the things that for me kind of like built my resilience to kind of like, okay, I'm gonna push through it. Do you get me? Anything that comes, I'm gonna push through it. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I've given you enough time for you to think about.
Oh well, no, I was thinking about one for me, but I think probably, you know what? There's just a lot of like tidbits or, you know, not parables, proverbs and stuff that your parents say when you're younger, which like kind of like
stories.
Just okay. You know, my one is not like an education one, and people might not see it as a thing, but I always say this. One of the things that Mum used to say to me when I was younger a lot, that you know, you kind of just like, you're just like, okay, yeah, but it stuck with me even till like this day and age, is when you come from work or when you come from school, change before you do anything else. And some people might be sitting there like, obviously, but there's a lot of people who don't do that. Like, as soon as they come home, you like bust straight into the kitchen or you sit around in your clothes.
Okay, I've done it a couple of times.
I'm not, what's it called? Indirecting you. If I want to say, I'll say it with my chest. Yeah, it's little things like that, you know, like you don't mix, like, or again, like there are going to be people out there who are like, this is common sense, but there's a lot of people who, you have to remember, didn't grow up the same way you grew up, so they don't know these things. So one of the things is when you come home from work or from school, you change before you do anything. So now it's like, I don't even think about it. As soon as I come home, if there's somebody in the house, I greet, and then I go and change into what I'm wearing in the house, then I go and do what I want to do. And there was another one, this is all clothes-based, I don't know why, but don't mix your like going out clothes with your church clothes, with your work clothes, with your house clothes, because some people, like, you know, so stuff like that, sort of, and then now stuff to do with like outside as well. You know what Mummy always told me about work, and this is an interesting thing because the social media trend, from what I've seen, has really moved away from this. It's not something that used to come up, but now that it's come up, it's moved away from this. She was like, when you go to work here, you do the work like it's your father's job. Like, you do it well. Like, you don't go to work like this. There's this narrative now, like you go there. They don't care about you. I mean, maybe they don't, but when you wanted to get the job, you didn't care whether they cared about you or not.
I watched some meme on Instagram. Some girl was talking about when you go to interviews, and she was pretending to interview for Tesco, and she was just like, "Why do you want this job?" It's just like, "I'm literally so passionate about Tesco's. Like, I get angry at my friends when they shop in Sainsbury's and Asda, and every time, like, since I've grown up, I've always said that I see myself as a customer service assistant for Tesco's. Like, I see myself packing shelves." I was just like, you know what? Yeah, that's literally how you end up selling yourself to like these places. But it's true. Because, like you said, you go there with all this passion and stuff, like, I really want to work for this company, this, and you go there and you're like, oh, bun this.
But the thing is, it's okay if you don't want to do that for the rest of your life. It's even okay if you're not really passionate. But this is, you know why I say that? Because there's a lot of people who have said those kinds of things, oh, they don't care about you, who have now set up their businesses, who have now got their own companies. So, are you, that advice that you were giving to people, are you also giving that to the people that you're coming to employ?
It's like them man who be like, I'll never work a 9 to 5, I'm born 9 to 5, dead.
But you expect someone to come and work.
And you open your company, I think you're like, what?
Who do you, like, because you were telling us that that's menial. You were telling us that that's degrading. But now you've opened your company, you realise you can't do it on you. Like, I think sometimes
like,
people
what time schedule are your people going to be working? 8 to 4?
Yeah, no, it'll be 7 to 3 or something. I don't know, like... Do you understand? So something that she always taught you is that when you go somewhere, you do things properly, you do things well. You don't just go there and do things anyhow. You take pride in what you're doing, whether it's your own company or you're working for someone. And I don't understand why you wouldn't. Now, I'm not saying that you should just go and do things and just be dying there. You're sick. You can't even walk. You have to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you can't even do the job. But at the same time, you still have to do things properly. So it's those kind of, those little things that they'll be saying it to you. you know, you don't even know when you. I don't know about anybody else. I don't know when your parents tell you the things. You don't know when you finally adopt it.
Yeah.
You know, you hear all the time. By the time you look at your life, you're like, right. A lot of the stuff they used to say, I'm just doing it now. Yeah. So I think, you know, all of those good things came along with the things that we laugh at now and we find a bit annoying, like the you know, the stew in the thingy. What did we used to find in biscuit container? What would they put in biscuit container? Was it chicken or something?
Biscuit container.
Or they used to pack onions. I don't know.
It'll be something. But also, do you know as well? We can't do this without shouting at the African dads.
Yeah,
Listen, African dads work so hard.
Honestly,
like I know we're gonna go into it in another episode. Yeah, but I just have to say, like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, what is like an African dad's dream? Do you get me? You never hear them talking about their ambition. There's all the, like they're like born providers.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
They
Like
have to work hard. They'll have to put you through school.
Yeah,
to, you know,
they'll provide
the
their hell out for their kids, their household. I'm not saying that they're perfect. None of us are perfect, but they work hard, and that's something that I definitely. Let's give them a round of applause because that's definitely something.
Yeah,
my work ethic is from
100%. Like just
and
you know,
mommy, but that
yeah, no, 100%. They you know, I give it to African parents. They came here and they worked their butt off. Like it might, you know, I don't know. Sometimes people don't see it in the same way, but if you really look back on your childhood, a lot of us didn't have to struggle for certain things. Okay, maybe, you know, you weren't jetting across the world all the time, or you weren't having, you know, those £400 pair of trainers, but like a lot of us didn't have. You didn't go a day without food. You know, if you needed, and the word is needed. If you needed something, it was provided.
Yeah,
it was always provided. You know, you didn't have
blazer when you needed it.
Oh, listen,
get me.
My shoe is talking. I need. I need one whose mouth.
Bro, I was doing the bend it like Beckham in my school shoes, and then come home get in trouble.
Now that I look at like my friends with kids and stuff, and I'm just like. When they have to go and buy something, I'm just like, and I can't believe. Sometimes I watch some of the way they walk. It's like you're just scratching.
I remember one time, Mummy used to tell me, and it's true. I used to like scrap on my foot, kick it on the floor. I literally just.
So now that you look at the trainer and stuff that you bought, can you imagine doing that?
I don't know what I'd do to my child if I saw them do that.
Now you understand why they used to get so angry. Just like just some of the stuff. I was out with Esther yesterday, and I asked her. I was just like, did you know anyone who used to chew their jacket? Do you remember those people who used to just chew like? Oh, for goodness sake, they used to just chew until the thing was like
Sunday. I saw Shadai take off his slipper. No, Thursday.
Yeah, and that shit. I was just like, your mum put so much effort into your clothing. He had one off and he was playing football with the other. I was like, this is a child.
I didn't even shout him for just like. I was just like, why?
Yeah, what's going on?
Why?
But you know, kids, they just want to play. They don't really know.
Listen, our parents try. One more round of applause for them. Honestly. Our parents try. If you listen, growing up in an African household, it built character.
You know what? Yeah, it definitely does. It gives you a good sense of humor. Yeah. It gives you endurance. Yeah. It builds character, as you say. I think it makes you a good, well-rounded person.
I was an emotional kid. Do you get me? And like, Mummy didn't let us use any excuses. So it's like. Sorry, some of you might find this a bit sensitive. So, when Mummy used to call us stupid, it wasn't an abusive stupid.
Yeah, I think everyone's
because I was kicking my foot on the floor.
Let me tell you one time. We used to have like bikes and stuff, yeah. And my mum had hung stuff on the radio.
No. You know what? I don't want to remember that because.
She had hung stuff on the radiator.
What you did was so...
It was dumb. I don't even know if I want to tell that. No, okay, I won't even tell that.
Don't tell that.
Let me tell another one. I remember one time my mum left me in the kitchen. She was frying plantain. And she left me in the kitchen. She said, watch the plantain. Yeah. And I've got like, my imagination runs, so I could get like quite distracted. But I just distract myself. So we've got like a big window in it. And plantain is on the fire, and she left me with the spatula, and it's frying. It's, you know, it will become black like this. And instead of watching it, I was on top of. We had like, you know, another African big deep freezer. I don't even think I think that's a black one. Big deep freezer underneath a window. So I went to climb onto the freezer, and I was looking at the window. I was halfway out the window, just looking around. And I remember, I think I was upside down. I was just looking. And all I remember, I had been there for time. She just came, dragged me from the fridge. Got beat with the spatula. I won't lie to you. And the plantain was black as anything. It was just black. And now that I look back on it, that was a very stupid thing. I wasn't 5 years old. I was like, you know, maybe like 12. I was 10, 11, 12.
Guess what? it taught you to go harder in life.
Yeah, no, 100%. It told me that you
seeing that plantain. Now, I'm going on a road. Like, you saw that plantain burn, and it started burning every silliness out of you. Wow. It burned the need to daydream, and it built
you know what?
the
It reminded me
necessity
to
concentrate.
Yeah, it reminded me that I had to, like, you know, it was like a thing. And you know what you have to remember about parents. I don't want to go off on a tangent. Is that they do know their children. They do know their children, and they can see the things that you do that you think, you know, somebody be like, oh, they're just a child, but how long can you tell a child they're just a child? They can see that if they don't get this thing out of you, and sometimes it's not always, oh, honey, let me talk to you, please try and concentrate. No. They have to get that thing out of you quick, because it will follow you into the rest of your life, and you can't be out here in the middle of an exam just half an hour left. Oh my God, it's been 2 hours
5
already.
minutes left.
It doesn't work that way. So yeah, you know, a lot of the time when they call you stupid, it's because you did a stupid thing.
What I need you guys to do is like send us a message to our DM on Instagram, or write in the comments like things that you experienced as an African, growing up in an African household, or maybe a European household, or maybe a Jamaican household.
Or as someone who's not from a certain culture, but now you've seen something. You know, some people have married into other cultures. You have friends of other things that you've seen that make sense, or you think don't make sense.
Yeah, you get me? Because I'm still not getting. I didn't learn. Okay, I'm gonna lie. I learned something
being
about
picky with food. I would say.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a bit mad that people were allowed to be picky with their food?
Right. I was. You know what? Yeah.
Nah, your pickiness only worked because you were picky about British food, and you weren't picky about Ghanaian food. So we the majority of the time we were eating Ghanaian food, so it worked out in your favour. But if roles were reversed, Charlie, you wouldn't eat.
Yes, like, Mommy, I don't want sausage, I want stew.
Yeah, so that was fine.
That's what it was.
I wasn't.
But even what's it called? The stew in the ice cream container. It taught us to be economical.
Yeah, you don't have to go and buy another container.
You get me?
If you bought, you know what? We say stew in the ice cream. How often do we have ice cream in the house anyway? But now.
Yeah, where did the ice cream container come from?
Yeah, because thank you.
That is where.
Thank you.
That's the question.
That's why I said I don't think ours was ice cream container. I think ours was at least Biscuit. We used to have
No, there was ice cream container. Vanilla. Vanilla. There was vanilla.
It might have been. You know what? I think it wasn't when we were very young. It was when we were a bit older and we could buy our own stuff. We'd buy ice cream, and then we'd be about to throw the container away.
Name this episode. Where did the ice cream container come from?
Honestly, because it wasn't when we were younger. It wasn't. You know why? Because there's a dairy allergy in the house anyway. So it wasn't us. It wasn't us buying the ice cream.
Hey, let me get this quote of the day, because
But yeah, like people being picky. Like as I've grown up, I've met people in secondary school who be like, I only eat like 2 things, like chips and there's no way that maybe secondary school you're buying your own stuff, but there's no way you're coming home and telling your mum that you don't want to eat that. That's fine. You don't have to eat it, but you're not eating. Like there's nothing else. Like that's it. So things like that is like you just learn to just find a way to swallow.
I checked this. The quote of the day is from somebody called Scott Cook.
Is it relevant?
Huh?
Is it relevant?
To this?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, fine. I just want to make that clear.
I just think business-wise, it's a good.
Yeah. I've seen it before.
Yeah, it says. So I think instead of focusing on the competition, focus on the customer. It means mind 100%. Your business.
100%. A lot of quotes mean mind your business.
Yeah. Literally.
I think it's definitely the quote. Mind your business.
Yeah.
Is definitely the quote for this generation.
Oh yeah.
We can't seem to do it. Or I'll just say we to.
Do you know? I watched something today as well, and they were talking about not reinventing the wheel in it, because it was like, and he explained it. He was just like, don't reinvent the wheel, just put rims on it. Do you get me? Because everything's kind of done. A podcast is done. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So it's like you're not gonna want to do anything because you're looking for that fresh new thing. But it's more like adding your own touch to that fresh new thing. Like everyone's doing a podcast, but we're doing a brother and sister podcast to inspire, educate. When you meditate,
make a lot. Oh gosh.
You get me?
Any more?
No, it's not there. I think it's raining. You get me? But you know what time it is. Make sure you like, subscribe. You get me? Share. Follow us on our socials.
Comment.
All of that. Comment. Do all of that. Check us out on podcasts. We've got a new kind of tagline for the podcast. When you hear it, let us know what you think. You get me? Tag 3 people whatever we post up. We're still doing the thing where we promote. You get me? From the next episode, we're gonna get all our promotions in. Yeah. Still time. We're gonna be doing some giveaways as well. You get me? We're gonna be giving away this top.
That's rude.
No, but it's a nice top though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna give it away.
That's rude.
Yeah, me. What's the one we cooking? Growing up in an African household, all of our clothes smell of food.
Mad. Mad. Am I promoting somebody else again?